What's up, man?
Oh, I'm doing good.
How you doing?
Yeah, for a few minutes till we bring up our childhood here again with
Start crying.
devastating sports memories.
Yeah. You know, the sad thing, and we'll get into this a little bit, is that I'm not sure my childhood was affected as much as my adulthood, which is pointing to the fact that I'm probably just sad in general.
Yeah. Well, you were a Cowboys fan, so you were good in your childhood.
Yeah, for
So,
sure. My childhood was fabulous.
Being a 49ers fan, my childhood was ruined by the Cowboys several
Letdowns by the Cowboys and Packers. Yeah. I totally get it.
Yeah.
I totally get it. So yeah, what we talked about today is probably a little less joyous than our last episode.
I'm already tearing up.
Yep. Little pain here, but also like just helps us tie back to what's important. But top 3 most disappointing sports moments in our lives. Yeah, and I think we've talked a bit about like magnitude, impactful like moments in sports. And so like I'm going to be honest, man, mine's going to lean heavy into like personnel, relationship, like I don't know. It's very interesting. And as I thought about it, it's like, man, why do I care so much?
Right. Yeah. So I personally have like me playing sports and stuff. I have some
Sure.
memories, but I'm not using those.
No,
today.
these are like our teams, right?
Right.
Like our teams, yeah.
So
And I was going to say, like, I want to make sure I get some dates right. So I'm going to pull my
right.
phone up. And even though I have my tablet, it's not seeming to work. Oh, wait. Look at it.
You got Google tablets. You
I
got
got
everything.
yeah. We're professional, man. Like we're gonna.
You're gonna Google me while we're.
I was gonna say I could look it up on here, but
Yeah.
So
start while you're Googling.
Yeah, man. Let's go. So like top 3 most frustrating, disappointing situations with our favorite teams. Is kind of how we were talking about this, and there's a reason. So we're February here. Something happened with one of my favorite teams this month that just caused me to.
We'll get into that.
Spiral a bit, and so let's talk about it.
So I have one team that I follow my whole life. That's the 49ers. I don't have any like basketball teams that I follow. Baseball really, kind of like the Royals a little bit, but nothing major. But the one player that I followed all the time was Michael Jordan.
Yeah, 100%.
So his first retirement on October 6, 1993.
Awful.
I was like 10. I already had my first pair of Jordans at that time. He's coming off a 3-peat, the Olympics. He's huge. He's just a huge sports figure. And it just really, like, why is he quitting at the peak of his career?
He was rocking.
We don't understand what's going on. He was going through a lot of personal things, I think, but yeah, that just really bothered me at the time. I don't know why. Like I said, I was only 10, but I was really into basketball at that time.
100%.
I started collecting his shoes. The good news is he did come back a couple years later. And
nothing ever happened.
Like nothing ever happened. Win a few more MVPs.
A few more titles.
3 more championships. I collected more of his shoes. The 11s, 12s, 13s, 14s are my favorite, his shoes.
Yep.
And that was like when I was in junior high school playing a lot of basketball.
Then he went to the Wizards.
Yeah, we don't really count the Wizard year.
Although he almost took on the playoffs, man.
Yeah, so his first year back with the Wizards, he was all right. And then the second year, I think he like hurt his meniscus or something. But he was older then, and he didn't take care of his body like these athletes do now.
Nah.
He's smoking in the locker room, cigars and drinking beer.
I still think he scored 40 at the age of 40.
Yeah. I would like to see what he could do now in the NBA now.
Like, you think he could come back?
Oh, no, not 56 or whatever he is. But
I gotcha.
with the rules and stuff.
Yeah. No hand checking. Yeah.
Yeah. But I remember, like, he retired, and then he came back, and we were all excited. And then he got beat that first year they came back. He played, like, 15 games.
Do you remember him dishing the ball?
Yeah, threw it away. He threw it away.
Yeah.
We got it stolen, then threw it away, and then...
Yeah,
that's
unbelievable, man.
Nick Anderson's like, 45 is not 23. And that's the other thing. He came back at 45. We're like, what is this?
Silly. It was silly. Yeah.
But
baseball number.
Yeah. But just remember that moment and then him coming back. And so, yeah, Michael Jordan retiring.
Yeah, man. That's good, man. I actually was super focused on my own teams, but that is a great one because it impacted me as well.
Globally. Like,
yeah, it was a big deal, man.
And I were talking about it. She's like, I remember my teacher when she was like
talking
in second grade. She was crying. Her teacher.
Yeah, it was the what year was that exactly?
93.
And it was October. before the season started?
Yeah, right. Like pretty much right before the season.
Yeah, so I was 12, about to be 13.
Yeah.
And I remember that as well, being just kind of floored that it was happening.
Mm-hmm.
And then the stupid Rockets won a couple of championships, which nobody likes them. Although Olajuwon was pretty fabulous.
He was good.
Yeah, he was good.
He was good.
Yeah, man, that's great. All right, so my number 3, I'm just going to say this in general terms. Like this one right here, I'm going to say Jerry Jones is GM. Done. Like, I don't know what else to say.
Oh, man.
I can go down a huge list, but it starts in my existence with him pushing, out of pride and arrogance, Jimmy Johnson out of the coaching
Well, he pushed Tom Landry out
position.
before that.
Well, I think that most people, even though Tom Landry was like a legend and all the things, I think it was time for him to go.
Yeah.
Jimmy Johnson was like, what, 4 years in, 2 Super Bowls, 5 years in? I can't remember exactly.
Yeah.
2 Super Bowls. Had a team built to win, and he out of pride just couldn't handle it. And I think Jimmy had something to do with that too, but they couldn't handle the relationship, so he's gone. Barry Switzer, they lost to the Niners actually in '94.
Of course they did.
And or they might have had 4 in a row.
But
They would have for sure. They beat the Chargers, right?
Who, the 49ers?
Yeah. Like dismantled the Chargers.
49-26.
Who was the quarterback? Humphreys?
Oh, Stan Humphries, for their team. Yeah.
Yeah, so like you think the Cowboys wouldn't have beat them? Like
well,
that.
I don't know if they'd beat the 49ers 4 years
I'm saying is
if they made the Super Bowl, 100%.
Yeah. So if they would have made the Super Bowl, those 4 years, they would have won it.
100%.
They'd have had 4 in a row, but the Niners beat them on a sloppy field that Amen played horrible on in the first half. It's okay. It's okay. We can get into that in our time. In our time.
These are coming up.
Yeah, but like for me, it was like Jerry Jones just makes like really, really poor decisions.
He does.
And when you start talking about like fostering a team and a team environment that wants to win a championship, I'm going to go to this last year, and then I'll leave it at this. He had an opportunity to sign Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb before offseason started. He didn't do it. And it's a lot of chatter, right? A lot of the other teammates are like making comments. CD held out of training camp. They end up signing both of them. So it's like just if you think about this in terms of just like stupidity, he was gonna sign them anyway.
Right.
Why not do it especially if you're gonna pay? And I don't think you should have paid Dak Prescott. And that's a whole nother conversation, right? That was just stupid. But if you're going to do it up front so that you're fostering, like, hey, I'm bought in. I want these guys part of the team. And he doesn't do that even. And so, like, to me, he's just horrible. Like, he's a great businessman. The team is worth, the most valued franchise in the whole world over even soccer teams, which makes no sense. But have not been to even an NFC championship game in 30 years. And if most people, if you tell them the Dallas Cowboys have not done that, they're like, what?
Well, I know it. Yeah.
Right?
I'm a 49ers fan.
Well, you know it, right?
Yeah,
but like the Bears are like the closest to them, and they've been in the last 15 years. I think they went in like 2015 or something like that.
Yeah,
2012,
they
13, whatever.
And
so like they're the worst. Now the Redskins went, the Eagles won a Super Bowl, and it's just gross, disgusting.
The Eagles have won 2 Super Bowls.
Anyway, so I'm going to say for 30 years I've been disappointed with my franchise because he's and I'll tell you this, and from my work experience, he's the only guy in the league that doesn't have to perform to keep his job. So he cannot be fired because he is the owner and the GM, and that to me is not okay. So no accountability.
I mean, as a 49ers fan, I think that's great that he's
you love it.
alive and kicking.
Yeah, you love it.
But the reason you guys had a dynasty in the 90s is because we traded Charles Haley from San Francisco to Dallas, and he won. What did he win? Like 3 in a row, 4 in a row? I mean, because he won. I don't know. He's crazy. He's won 5. I know that. But
Niners. Well, he went Dallas Niners.
Something. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
But it's crazy.
Whatever.
But so I'll bring the party really low here. So my number 2 is all my Niners because I'm part of the organization. NFC Championship game losses that I really remember. So they lost to your Cowboys in 1971 and 72.
I remember.
I don't really remember those. But they do talk about them. Like when the 49ers play the Cowboys in the playoffs, they've always referenced those games. But
yeah, they talk about a ton. They talk about a ton. Yeah.
Let's see. 1991, the 49ers were going for a 3-peat. and they got beat by the Giants.
Yeah.
And the Giants didn't even score a touchdown. They
Yeah,
made
it's
field
weird.
goals.
I forgot about that.
So the 49ers are winning the game. Joe Montana gets hurt, and he's
Yeah.
actually out for basically 2 seasons. And Roger Craig fumbles the ball. They
Yeah.
pick it up. I'm like, good. And
it's basically like Joe Montana's like done with the Niners.
done. He never
Yeah,
really
yeah.
played again.
Yeah.
Steve Young took over, but that just because they were really good.
Yeah.
1993 Cowboys,
Roger Craig
gross. 1994 Cowboys, gross.
Spectacular.
These are just losses, by the way. 1998, I've actually put the word yuck by it. 1998 Packers, that was like the last one of Steve Young's run.
Yeah.
And then they went into a lull. And then Jim Harbaugh came, 2012.
Is that Kaepernick?
Not yet. Kyle Williams was their backup punt returner because Ted Ginn was the regular returner, and he was hurt. Kyle
Forgot
Williams
about Ginn.
fumbled 2 punts.
I remember that. Yeah.
One in regulation, one in overtime. They got beat by the Giants, and the Giants went on to win the Super Bowl.
Is that the
So
year they beat
all-
the Patriots who were undefeated?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
which
not
is-
undefeated. That was in 27, but they
that's
beat the
still
Patriots.
Stupid.
So
Still stupid.
every one of these years that I'm listing here, the 49ers lost in the championship game. The other team won the Super Bowl.
Yep.
2013 they won, but 2014 this is the Richard Sherman Seahawks game,
Ah.
and then
Yep.
the Seahawks went and won the Super Bowl by like 40 points.
Yeah. Yeah. They crushed.
2022 they got beat by the Rams on a dropped interception by Jimmy Ward. Rams went on and won the Super Bowl. And then the last one was
Stafford, right?
Yeah. 2023, they got beat by the Eagles when they literally had no quarterback. Purdy got hurt like the first series, and they put in Josh
God, I hate the
Josh
Eagles.
Johnson or somebody like that. I can't remember his name. He got a concussion, so like Kyle Juszczyk and McCaffrey were like taking snaps. They put Purdy back in. He couldn't even throw a forward pass. It was bad.
I hate the Eagles so much.
So
much.
they have played in the most any conference championship games.
Yep.
But they're 8-11 in those.
Yep.
So 8 of those 11 losses, the winner went on and won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So that's very so close to winning, but
I'd
yet
trade
so
you.
far away.
I'd trade you.
So close, but so far away. But go
I'd trade
ahead.
you.
That's just conference championship games. We'll get into Super Bowl losses for my number 1.
All right, number 2. And I'll be honest, my mind is in personnel moves. And we'll get into in the top one. So number 2, in 2004, Steve Nash was up for, I want to say he had player option that year. And he was up for, like he was shopping the market.
What year is this? 2004?
2004.
Okay. So this is prime Steve Nash.
Kind of prime. He went, we'll talk about that. We'll
Okay.
talk about that.
Okay.
So we'd watched him grow in Dallas with Dirk. They were unbelievable, like in the conversation every year.
Mhm.
Now, defensively, not awesome, but that's okay because the NBA didn't seem to care it as much at that moment.
Right,
but,
correct.
of course, you had the Lakers, and so it was tough, the Spurs, but still, like it just seemed like really odd to me that Mark Cuban would not match Steve Nash, and he did not match. Steve Nash went to Phoenix and then won 2 MVPs, and they were in the like 3 West. I don't think he should. I agree. It doesn't matter though. It doesn't matter. Won 2 MVPs, and then also we're in the Western Conference Finals like 3 times. Of course, we beat them once, but
Yeah, but they couldn't play defense either.
yeah, I know.
At Phoenix.
I know. It was
But
just tough. Like,
Yeah.
it's a tough thing, and I think we've talked about this enough. The Mavericks are my top team. Like, I love basketball because I'm built for it. You guys can't see me standing up, but I'm like about 6'8". So,
And bowls. That's
yeah, okay, maybe a foot shorter than that, but still, like I love the NBA, I love basketball, and Mavericks are my team. So yeah, big Jordan fan, but the Mavericks are my team. And
Right.
so to watch Dirk grow and with Nash, and then not to get to go, try to get that done with him, which I do think it would have happened. I mean, you can't tell me Steve Nash wouldn't have been complimentary over the next like 5 years with Dirk. It's tough for me. So
he was better than Jason Kidd.
Um,
At that point, I would say
it's different though. It's a different better. So like when we got Kid, that's different. That's different. I'm talking like the next so we played in the finals against Miami in 06.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell me Steve Nash wouldn't have made a difference.
Oh, that's the Dwayne Wade, Shaquille.
Yeah,
they
we were up. Well, it's a
2-0.
whole horrible thing. We were up 2-0.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then lost the next 4 games.
I
Had
do
a
remember
collapse
that.
in game 3. It was just disgusting. But I will say the refs, which one of the guys been kicked out of the league for kind of gambling. I would say that ref started calling it completely different. But I'm not going to be that guy. So it doesn't matter. But yeah. So anyway, that's one of mine. Steve Nash going on to Phoenix.
That's a good one.
Super frustrating to me.
He's Canadian though, so
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know if
Yeah. I was gonna say Barry Switzer coming to be the coach of the Cowboys.
Now that was a good one for me.
We won the Super Bowl.
He didn't. He did nothing.
Yeah.
He did.
I left it
nothing.
off my list. All right, go
So
ahead.
my number one is Super Bowl losses. Are you spitting that out?
I haven't experienced those because we haven't even had the chance
So-
in 30 years.
Since I've been married, we're going on right around 15 years. We've made about half of those years. We made it to the Final Four of football is what I call
Absolutely.
it. Championship game or
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Never came out on top. And it's so disappointing, but
Yeah.
you can't be upset, but you can be upset, you know?
Yeah.
So in 2013, this is the one the lights went out in the Superdome and they were getting smoked by the Ravens, and they started coming back, and I was getting excited. We have it
Harbaugh versus Harbaugh.
Harbaugh Bowl. We have it first and goal, like on the 6, 5, whatever. Close, right? We need a touchdown, down by 4. Frank Gore, one of the best running backs in the 49er history, especially in short yard. Like,
Yeah, he's
doesn't touch the ball.
Stupid.
Doesn't touch the ball.
Stupid.
Another running back got a carry, nothing.
Especially for Harbaugh. That seems crazy. Anyway.
Everyone's still upset about that. And then
It didn't bother
like
me.
Phage the Crabtree, and I'm like, good night.
Trap tree.
Yeah, so that one bothered me because they really should have won that one. Had a chance to win that one. Then you get into where we got beat by the Chiefs twice. The first one, and I strongly dislike the Kansas City Chiefs. I grew up about an hour and a half south of Kansas City. Been to Arrowhead, I don't know, 20, 30 times. I don't know. Seen enough there to know that I don't want to go back. And that first one, there were 7 minutes left in the game. They're up 10.
Yeah.
And then they just get blown out. I'm like, oh my goodness. No
That was
no
crazy.
holding calls.
Zero
Yeah.
zero holding calls.
And then we have
They told them, actually. They
well,
said,
look
hey,
what happened to
hey, no
them.
more holding calls.
Yeah, look what happened to the Chiefs when they got beat against the Buccaneers and the Eagles when they actually called penalties. So it's true. And another thing is,
We need to do a sports conspiracy.
100%. I think it's
episode.
all.
Yeah.
I don't think it's all. I think it's swayed. I really do with money, the Taylor Swift thing. But I think that's done. They're going to look for somebody else now. Anyways, I was like, you got me all flustered. Now I'm all fired up about Chiefs. There's so many, what do we call them? Bandwagon fans.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I'm going to school.
So many.
And I'm wearing a 49er hoodie, the Friday before the Super Bowl. Like, who are you cheering for? I'm like, I hope they both lose. Like, you're not a Chiefs fan? I'm like, when did you become a Chiefs fan? 2 years ago? I'm like, exactly. I'm done. Like, you don't do that. And then the last Super Bowl that we lost last year, when we fumbled a punt, Dre Greenlaw got hurt. It was just.
Yeah. If you ask a Chiefs fan, who was their quarterback, in the 90s?
Well, it's all 49er quarterbacks.
Yeah, so ask them, I know Montana played there, but it was Gerback played there, right?
Gerback, Steve DeBerg before that was an ex-49er. They had Alex Smith was an ex-49er.
But if they could tell you that, then you'd be like, okay, I'm good. If you want to be a fan, you can tell me the quarterbacks and you rooted for them.
If you can tell me anything before 2018
I'll be
about
okay
the
with that.
Chiefs,
Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
You're a fan.
You're a fan. You're a fan.
If you didn't know anything before Taylor Swift or Patrick Mahomes, then unless you're young. Unless you're a little kid.
Yeah, little kid,
liking
whatever, yeah.
But if you're our age and you weren't a Chiefs fan until 2018, that's bandwagon.
If you can't tell me Elvis Gerback, then I'm out on you.
Lynn Elliott was the kicker that missed 3 kicks in the field. I know more about Chiefs history than these fans, okay?
Yeah. No, that's good.
So
yeah, it's funny, though, because, what I would tell you is I would trade with you. I know that's your disappointment, and is my, I'm, even worse, man, because we are in the world of, 12-5 or 8-8. That's where we live. 12-5, 8-8. Don't get past divisional. 12-5, 8-8. Don't get past divisional.
Who've been playing those divisional games recently?
Niners or Packers, or bad. Detroit or whatever. Right? Doesn't matter.
It's bad.
It doesn't matter. Either way, I would trade you because we haven't even been to a taste of it. I get it. I know it's disappointing, but you got to have perspective there, man.
I have perspective, but now the Cowboys are they're their coach. Speaking of the Chiefs, it's Marty Schottenheimer's son.
Oh, Schottenheimer, yeah. Big glasses Schottenheimer.
Where did they get him to coach the Cowboys?
He's there, man.
Well,
Jerry.
Where'd he come from?
I don't know. Jerry must be comfortable with him. So.
I
GM Jerry.
And maybe he'll go on and do great things.
I hope you like them Super Bowls. I hope you do.
Yeah. I just
Anyway, all right.
To your number one.
All right, you want to talk about my number one?
I know what it is.
It hurt.
I was surprised.
It was a big deal, man. And the more I went through like stages of, I guess grief. So Luka Doncic was just traded to the Lakers from my Dallas Mavericks for Anthony Davis.
Now the people that listen to our podcast, the 30 of them, most of them probably don't know
Maybe.
who Luka. What's his name?
Doncic.
He's not American, but go ahead.
He is not. He is a European player. Yeah, man. I'm not gonna go into the fact that he's 25 years old.
Dang, he's
Five-time All NBA.
All NBA 5 times.
5 times in a row.
Years old.
25 years old.
I know he looks.
We
like,
went to the finals last year with him.
Do you know? Okay. Have you ever seen the movie The Replacements? This just came to me. And the kicker.
Yeah.
That's like smoking, like out of shape. That's what he kind of his body like.
Yeah, he's dumpy.
He's not.
Looks like me.
He has no muscle tone.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Yeah. He's not very fast.
Doesn't matter.
But he wins.
He balls, man.
Why did they get rid of him?
So I don't know, but here's what I'll tell you: is that at first I was like, wait, this is fake. This isn't happening.
Mm-hmm.
I lost sleep that night, which is stupid.
And it's in season too. That's even kind of worse, I
it's
think.
trade deadline approachment. So like middle of the season, February. So February 1st, whatever. So they trade him. And then I'm like, okay, I start justifying it. He is kind of out of shape.
But you can get back
He's
in
hurt.
shape.
He's hurt all the time. I start justifying it. And then I just got real mad at my Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah,
and so here's a couple of reasons why. Here, I'm going to tell you why. 25 years old, immature, I believe. Like, I can't imagine what I was doing at 25 years old. Stupid stuff. But the kicker to me is that I think this is like generational too, man. I don't think this gets to happen very often. The NBA is big into like hired guns, right? We go get free agents to come to our team and we're going to win a championship, right?
Okay.
And there's a few teams that have built this like momentum with players that they did not bring in.
Like
and
a farm system, kind of.
Yeah,
baseball.
like the Warriors did it.
Homegrown.
The Warriors did it.
Thunder
are doing it now. We'll see what happens. They actually did it prior and then made big mistakes, but that's okay. We'll see what happens this time.
The Thunder?
Yeah, the Thunder.
I think they'll be able to keep them together.
We'll see.
If they win one.
We'll see.
We're going to Dallas?
Yeah, Houston is doing it right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. The Lakers always go get their guns. They always go get them. Kobe couldn't do it by himself. He had to go get guns.
Well, it goes back before then, but go ahead.
New York tries. They haven't been able to do it for years. Miami goes and gets their guns. They do have a bit of a farm system, but they go get free agents.
They get their big guys.
Yep, they go get them. They go get them. And so, Milwaukee, they farm systemed it and won a championship. I got to see that with Dirk. I got to see him like progress. I was super mad when they drafted him because they could have had Paul Pierce. It didn't make any sense why to draft somebody from Germany, big tall white dude from Germany.
Yeah,
they did, but I got to watch him like get better. Finals fail. Regress back a couple years, better, finals, win a championship. And it was an amazing journey.
Yeah. Super
invested. It was super fun. I really felt like Luka was on that path and maybe even was going to be better. And I do think better player than Dirk. And I got robbed of that, man. I got robbed of that. And it hurts.
You got robbed of it.
It hurt.
Yeah.
It hurts, man. It hurts. And so...
Well, to the Lakers, of all people, too.
Yeah, the worst, man. The worst. The Lakers are the worst.
And what you got in return...
I mean, I'll say this, and I'm not justifying it all. Anthony Davis is an All-NBA player. He on both ends of the court, which Luka is not.
He's hurt all the time, too.
He's hurt all the time, too, though, and he's 31 years old and actually came and played 2.5 fantastic quarters. Never seen anything like it, actually. Incredible, yelling, I am here, on the court, and then got hurt.
What did he hurt?
In the third quarter, he pulled his groin.
So he'll come back from
lower abductor or whatever. So he'll come back, but it's going to be a month. But so just immediately pay off his poor. Now the young guy we got in the trade, Christie, is good. But so anyway, my point being is the part that bothers me the most maybe is that you have a GM that seems hell bent on making decisions by himself. And talks about culture. And so here's what I'll say. I do not like that. And I do feel like I have that with the Cowboys,
Yeah.
and now I have it with the Mavericks, and I'm really sad.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Well, they sold the team recently too, correct?
They did.
Who's your owner?
Dumont,
Cuban. No,
Patrick Dumont.
Well, Mark Cuban.
Mark Cuban was the owner.
And then
He still has
sold
like a 30% stake. He
not
sold
really
it to
a
like
stake.
he's not majority, he's minority.
So I heard they
So-
need the money because they're trying to open up like casino or gambling.
I
or
mean, they
arena.
can't. Texas won't allow it, so it's
Okay.
just super. It's whatever. It doesn't matter what the reason is. It sucked, and I'm
Yeah.
not happy about it,
Yeah.
and it hurt me.
I mean, you're not the only one. Everyone was shocked.
Yeah, and the worst part is this, and you mentioned already. You're watching that dude in gold and purple, and he is going to probably win 4 championships over the next 10 years and like 4 MVPs, and it's just disgusting.
Depends on who they can get there because LeBron's about done. He's like, what, 41?
Whatever, who cares? Yeah, let him go. They're gonna get a couple of like centers, and I don't know, man. It just sucked. Anyway, those are my big ones, man. Disappointments. I mean, I had some others on the list, like when Emmitt Smith went to the Cardinals, but he was so far gone in his
That
career.
was just to get pat his final career
Jason
stats.
Witten went to the Raiders. That sucked.
Oh, I forgot about that. But those are into the career.
They are, but they still suck, right?
I mean, we had Ronnie Lott going to the Raiders.
I was kind of,
We had-
I was spoiled though with like Aikman retired a Cowboy, never played anywhere else.
He couldn't play. I mean, he was.
I don't know. They asked him to come back to the Chargers, and he didn't go
Steve Young was
but-
asked to come to the Cowboys after
last year
after Elway retired.
when Dak got hurt last
No, not last year.
year. Yeah. So you mean Denver? He was asked to go to Denver.
Yeah, like right after Elway when Shanahan.
You said
was the coach.
Cowboys.
Did I say Cowboys? Oh, my bad.
I was like, I don't remember hearing
No,
that.
no.
I do remember that talk. So Aikman was asked, and he just didn't do it. And then Dirk, of course, played 21 years with the Mavs,
That's
and so I feel a little spoiled.
Crazy.
But even like Jordan going to the Wizards and all that, it was junky.
They almost all
so-
do. I mean, Jerry Rice
Yeah.
played for
Yeah, the Raiders,
Broncos, Seahawks.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like 45 out there running a
Yeah,
route tree.
still pretty awesome.
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, Joe Montana played for the Chiefs.
yeah. No, I know. It just that one to me seems like I don't know.
Yeah.
It just sucked. Anyway,
Yeah. I
fun
agree.
times. All right. So, and I don't have my Bible with me, which is super awful. But I'll tie this in, and we'll wrap this up super quick. So we talked for a while, a little too much emotion around sports. But that was the thing is I recognized is as this was playing out, I was like, why does this bother me so much? You know, and I literally joke about the stages of grief, but it was like I was going through these emotional swings
Yeah.
on my favorite team, and I was like, this is so stupid. And what only thing I can attribute to is that I'm not as focused on the heavenly realm or God's kingdom as much as I am
Right.
on what's happening on earth, right? And so I'll leave you these 2 verses is Matthew 6:19 through 21, and then Colossians 3:2. And I'm not going to read them. I'll let you guys look them up. But it literally is talking about none of that matters. None of it matters, right? And so just being thoughtful. And I think these are good barometers in our life to be like, where you at? And I think we're going to do an episode in the near future, talk about work-life balance. We'll probably get into this a little bit of where I've been lately. But it does tell me I'm probably not as engaged as I need to be on my spiritual walk and my understanding of where I am, my family is, and in our path with Jesus and discipleship.
Yeah.
Or who cares, man? Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares about all this junk, right?
Right.
But it is weird. It is weird because we do find some weird joy in it.
We do.
So-
And pain.
and pain
Yeah.
and sorrow.
Yeah.
Freaking sports.
Right.
Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry. A little
No.
strong language, but yeah. So awesome. I don't have much else.
That's good,
So,
man. That's
cool.
good.
Stupid Mavs. All right.
See ya.
Adios.